Hey, 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 good morning, good morning. Let me turn this heat down a little bit. As you can see, it's still dark outside, so I turned on the overhead light, hoping that that will help. I don't think the sunroof's going to help any, because it's still dark. But, yes, I am at work. It is a little after 7 a.m. I'm always early. I hate being late to anything, so I have to be here at like 8:15. I'm not sure. But I'm always early, so it doesn't matter. Today's Saturday, December 1st, the first day of Vlogmas. So this is my first Vlogmas. I have no Christmas in the background, but I am doing my first day of Vlogmas. My tree is up at home. The house is decorated. I'm going to do all my Christmas shopping tomorrow and Monday on my 2 days off, and I hope to get everything wrapped and under the tree that doesn't have to come via parcel from Amazon. Yes, I'm still struggling. I've reverted back to using Amazon after my whole chaotic mess that I had with them. But what's up, everybody? What's up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. I thought I would do a still dark in the morning on my way to work live. Got the idea from my good friend here on YouTube, Lockhead Boss Lady. So if you have not gone to check her channel out yet, check her channel out. She is the real deal. She is for real. She is my friend in my head, as Wendy Williams likes to say. She's in Texas. I'm in Indiana. But hey, what's a few thousand miles? You know, you could still be friends, even though you're a few thousand miles away from each other. So, hey, good morning. Thank you. Good morning to you, Ms. Reacts. How are you doing today? I don't know where you're at, but here in Indiana, it's freezing frogs. Yeah, it's freezing frogs today. It's freezing fog this morning. Cold as HE double hockey sticks. And I'm just sitting here in my car waiting to go into work. Not much going on today, just working. If y'all don't know, I work at the state. Without saying exactly where I work for the state. I work half days on Saturday, and I help people stay on the road. So maybe that'll help you understand where I work. And oh, you're in New York City. Is it cold in New York City? I saw the Rockefeller tree. It is beautiful. My one thing on my bucket list is to visit New York City sometime between Thanksgiving and Christmas some year. I would love to see New York City. Oh, I bet it is. And the wind in the city, I bet it's a lot like Chicago. I know when I lived in Chicago, it was cold downtown where I lived. And for all the animal lovers, yes, I used to have a full-length mink coat because that's a necessity in Chicago. And back in the 90s, it was also a huge fashion statement. So, you know, but if you're joining my live now, or if you're watching it later, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it. Please leave a comment down below. Leave me some ideas of some content you would like to hear or something you would like me to discuss. I have no boundaries. I'll talk about anything. And I have no filter. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, Ms. Reacts, I come to New York sometime, I'm going to hit you up. I'm going to need a tour guide because I'm sure it's crazy there during the holidays. I'm sure. And some of the places I would like to visit, just to say I've been there, are probably not places that are safe to go, maybe. I don't know. Oh, it is so cold in big cities. Like even here in my city, which it's not huge. It's the second largest city in Indiana. But we have, you know, a couple big buildings downtown. And when you drive downtown, that wind just catches your car. I don't go downtown unless I have to go downtown, which is like once every few years. But yeah, the wind is whipping. But I'm sitting here right now looking at the parking lot lights, and you can actually see the fog mist blowing in the lights, and it's freezing as soon as it hits the ground, or any vehicles that have been sitting and have gotten cold. So it's nasty. I'd rather have snow than this type of weather. especially when my son is driving in it. Although he's a seasoned driver, he's been driving for 5 years, he's 21, you know, he's lived away at school when he was away at college playing ball, but it still makes me nervous. And this is actually his vehicle, which used to be my vehicle. It is, you know, I used to want to come to see the ball drop, but I've decided that's like too much of a whole mess of people. I don't do crowds. I don't like people stepping and pushing on me because that might cause an altercation if I'm in the right mood. Plus, like the whole security thing, it scares me to go to a big event like that. You know, maybe I'm over paranoid. I don't know. I'm getting old. I'm 49. So I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant, Ms. Reacts. I knew what you meant. So I haven't talked to Lockhead, Miss Boss Lady, since her live when she asked who was a Cowboys fan and who was a Saints fan. And of course, I'm a Cowboys fan because if anyone knows Jalen Smith and his brother, Roderick, that plays for the Cowboys, they are actually from the city that I live in. My son went to the same high school as Jalen. Jalen came to all their football games and is a very good friend of our high school and our alumni. I'm an alumni at that high school. My son is an alumni at that high school. And Jalen Smith is the most humble young man you ever want to meet. Okay, good. That's what my girlfriend was thinking about taking her JROTC class, I think, to New York City over Christmas break. Maybe it's spring break, but Christmas break, that would make me nervous to like bring so many high school kids to a city of that size, even with chaperones. That would make me nervous. So I have to check with her and see. I forget what they were talking about when I was down there in July. I know they were talking New York City at some time, but yeah, so my city has nothing to offer. I'm sorry. I know you should like rep your city, but I can't rep anything about this city. It's a hot mess. The streets are a mess. The government is a mess. The streets, meaning street crime, is a mess. The shootings, the murders, the drugs, the guns, the money, the girls. It's all a hot mess here. Like, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Gary, Indiana, but Gary used to be the #1 murder capital of the United States before everything started popping off in Chicago. Okay, Fort Wayne is now Little Gary. We've had almost 50 homicides so far this year, which is going to tie or break a record, I believe. Girl, in the city I live in, I think our population is like 250,000. I need bail money every day. I need Jesus. That's what I need. Like some days I just sit and I'm like, I need Jesus. I need Jesus because I can't handle things. And I've never been one to really hold my tongue, but as I've gotten older, it's like, I don't have to have everyone's approval. I don't have to like everybody, and everybody, of course, doesn't have to like me. And if you don't like me, no skin off my nose. Because I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy with where I am in my life. I'm happy with decisions that I'm making. I'm happy that I have a husband, a son, and a little brother who we love very much. That's a part of our family now in our home. I have 2 awesome dogs. Yes, go Cowboys. I know. That's my boys. And you know, I used to be a Cowboys fan back in the day. And then I kind of got out of football. Then I was a Seahawks fan, you know, for a while. And then I got out of football again, pro football. It was just watching whoever, whatever. Rod Woodson, that used to play for the Steelers. History back in the day, way back in the day, before he became a pro football player. But he's still a good friend on Facebook and from Fort Wayne. So we've turned out some really good players. My son's little best friend, his mom and I used to be best friends before our lives kind of took separate directions. He is an Ohio State wide receiver, hopefully going to go pro. So we turn out a lot of really good athletes here. And I think it's because people like Jalen come back and give back to the community. Rod used to come back and have a football camp here every year. And we start our kids out young here in sports. Now, my son started playing baseball at 4. He started playing football in 5th grade, or at 5th grade age. He played for like a city, teams that play. Then he played middle school, then he played high school, then he played college. He played 14 years of baseball, however long. Oh, it is crazy here. One of my very, very dear friends from high school, son, was shot and killed on Thanksgiving night in his home, as well as 4 other friends. Him, 2 other friends did not survive. 2 did survive. They have 1 guy in custody. 1 is still on the loose. There was just a home invasion yesterday. The owner was shot and killed. I mean, every morning I get up and look at the news and someone has gotten killed. And 9 times out of 10, it's young people that I know or my son knows. And it's sad. It is so sad. Drug, what was it? Rick James once said, I think, cocaine is a hell of a drug. No, drugs are a hell of a drug. Because they will get you killed. If you don't die from drugs, using drugs, drugs will get you killed. And I always try to explain to my son and my little brother-in-law who's 18 and my son's 21, when I lived in California back in the early 90s and there was drugs and there were gangs and there were, shootings and killings, there's a code. There's a code when you are a G or, whatever. And there's just certain things, people my age, men my age that were in the game back in the day, they talk about it now. It's crazy. It's crazy. These young kids have no code. You didn't just used to shoot somebody just to be shooting. They still fought with their hands, beat somebody's what after school. It had to be something serious for you to get shot over. It had to be you crossed over those codes, or, I'm not going to get into the whole gang explanation thing, because if you know what I'm talking about, I don't have to get into it. But now kids are just killing to be killing. Like, they have no sense of life or what life worth is. They are used to video games where you can shoot and kill somebody and in 5 seconds you get your life back and you're back at the game. That's not real life. And too many parents are not explaining that to their children. Too many parents are unaccounted for. And I blame that on my generation. Because my generation, when I was in high school, if you got pregnant in high school, you didn't go back to school. You went to the alternative school. It was not acceptable. Now, there's like little girls that were in middle school with my son. They were getting pregnant in 6th grade, and they were still attending public school, and it was no big deal. Their parents or their mom or their dad was like, oh, we're going to raise our grandchild. Why? Why did you even let it get to that point? Why did you not educate? Where were you at? Why weren't you checking things? Yeah, kids need to have some sense of privacy, for them to have your trust. But my son tells me everything, and when I mean everything, he tells me everything. Some things I don't even want to know, he tells me. And some parents don't even know where their kids are on a Friday, Saturday night, or any other night of the week. My son is 21. You live in my house, you're going to school, cool, you work your job, you make your money. You pay your credit card bill, you put gas in your truck. It is very hard when it is in so, and the thing is that we have to hold ourselves accountable for our children and how we raise our children, because how we raise our children is what they become as adults. And what we're seeing in today's society is how my generation has failed as parents. And being a single parent is not easy. I've not always been a married parent. I was a single mom for a while, but my son always came first. When his dad and I shared custody, I never had a babysitter for my son to go out to the club, and I was still young enough. I was going out with friends, but I had my time to do that when my son was with his dad, or a date. I had my son to do that, had my time to do that when my son was with his father. When I have my son is my everything. And I never let him leave the house. Never does he ever leave the house without me telling him I love him and to be safe. And that is a goal that I strive for. Now, this morning, I left for work early. I have his vehicle. So, he's not going anywhere till I get home from work. But if he was, I would tell him, go knock on his door. I don't care if he's been asleep for 3 hours because he was up playing games or talking on his FaceTime or whatever. Honey, I love you, and be safe today. I never let that go unsaid. Never, ever let a loved one or someone you care about end a conversation or leave without telling them you love them. Even if you're in an argument with your spouse and they storm out the door, honey, I love you. Because you never know when the last time is that you may be telling them that you love them. We have no control. We don't know when our number is going to come up. So, with other people showing up for work and they're all looking at me crazy, I'm going to leave my morning ramble here. Thank you, Ms. Reacts, for joining me this morning. Right, exactly. It's the code of the streets, and it's not taught anymore. And it's like, come on now, really? Y'all gonna kill somebody over a female that you're not even gonna end up getting married to, have kids with? Come on now. There is no man or woman worth killing for unless there's a very, you know what I'm saying? You have to have abused, beat, raped, harmed one of my close family members. And I'm talking my husband, my son, my little brother. For me to ever let that come into play or into my mind. There's nothing worth killing someone over. Exactly. And my household has consequences. You don't do it. Just like I said, my son lives at home, but I pay the bills. He buys his gas. He works. He goes to college. You keep your grades up. You keep gas in your truck, and you stay out the streets, and we're going to be good. That doesn't happen, and you're going to start paying to live here, buying your food, suffering the consequences. I will cut the phone off. I will lock the truck down, and you won't be going nowhere. I don't care if you are a grown man. Right. That's how it was here. There used to be a school where you went. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm happy, and my whole junior class is throwing me a baby shower. What's up with that? Really? So, but like I said, I gotta go. I gotta get off here. People are pulling up and they're like, oh Lord, she's on that YouTube again, filming her YouTube. So, but I will talk to y'all later. Hopefully I'll check in later. I think James at James Cox is going to be live probably by the time I get off work. Exactly. That's how it should be, Ms. Reacts. That's how it should be. We have made it too easy for kids in our society to play like they're adults and then not take the responsibility of being adults. And it's sad. But hey, Ms. Reacts, you have a great day. You stay blessed. Stay warm in New York City. See you in my next video. Remember to share, like, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see y'all very soon. Have a great one. Bye.